Here we go, y'all. This is Coffee and Chat with Rev Bruce, and definitely kicking this thing off today and getting started. Really want to spend today, giving back, paying it forward, doing those things that come about through reciprocity. And I say that in the sense of this has been the pandemic, but it also has been a time of growth and development. And, I've seen people release CDs, new plays, new books, new projects, new ventures, start new businesses. And, like I said, times on here before, starting this multimedia ministry has been part of what's been able to happen during the pandemic. And so I want to make sure that I pay it back, give it back, and share this. And so this is what this is about. This is what this is about today. And so as, we're taking a move forward, today has been a blessing to get to today. This is episode 32. And one of the main things that I want to do is get to this gig economy, but I also wanted to share part of my journey here. And in doing so, I just want to make sure that you understand that the pandemic doesn't have to be a problem for you. It can also allow you to pivot and go into another area, make a shift of focus in the immediacy and with the urgency to start something new. And let me just break this down for you right now. I am what people would call a creative in this economy. I'm what people would call a creative in this economy. And in that, I mean, I'm creative in producing content. I am a content creator. I am a writer. I am a blogger. I do things that allow for other information and content to be distributed, not only on platforms such as my blog and website, but also through social media, here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And so in doing this, being a creative, as people term it, I have also, been able to dabble and play a little bit with my hobbies. And my Breaking 90 was something I started, I think, in 2018, just talking about, I was playing golf more consistently. I was playing a little better, working on game improvement. And so I began to, dabble in that. And now as a blogger, I've gotten more consistent with it and more detail oriented with it. And so as a creative, that blog has side hustle, potential. And so I use that and incorporate that into my multimedia. If you caught my tweet earlier today, you'll see where there is definitely a serious prayer that I put out there about using this as my ministry. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we look at this and we see the very superficial things about what happens in business, what happens for an entrepreneur. And for me, I just have to say, part of this is really, my fulfillment in being able to share through the best mediums that I have. And so that's how I take the blog. That's how I take the other work. And so, if you didn't get a chance, if you're not following me on Twitter, shame on you, you know what I'm saying? But, definitely check it out. This is just simply the tweet that I had done before, And this is, a little something that goes along with it. Check it out on Twitter. God bless. And so I do the golf blog, and then I also do Bible study as a minister. The pandemic has showed us a lot of different things. Worship services don't have to be 2.5 hours. You don't have to do a lot of tarrying, as folks have been doing in the past. We can get back to that A and B selection, right? And so a lot of the stuff that we were filling the worship service with for folks that are pastoring and leading worship, now it's been condensed and very digestible for people. And if you notice, if you're on social media, you're not getting many of the same people that you might get in the congregational pews. You're also getting people from across the nation, across the globe, who may have just heard about you, or someone shared a link with them, and they're now following you during this time period because they're interested in what the pastor has to say. They like the praise and worship team or the choir that you have, or the worship leader really gets them stirred up, or just the praise sharing time that people are enjoying. And so I'm able to do a Bible study, and we're doing Jeremiah, the year-long study in Jeremiah right now that we just kicked off this month of January. And I'm able to do a Bible study via live stream, share with Pastor Powell, trying to get some other voices on there as well. And that's part of how I'm able to do this as a creative. And so when you think about this, and you think about how you're able to spend time and get yourself out there, part of this whole thing with the gig economy is about what you're able to share, what you have, what skills you have, what things you got going on. And so take an inventory of that. Like I said, for myself, I'm a creative, I'm a writer. What does that mean? I can do everything from edit to copyright to doing tips. I do a lot of tip sheets, a lot of downloads through my blog. I do blogging. If I was more into traveling, I wasn't locked down in California right now, I could do a travel vlog, and I incorporate some of that aspect into my golf blog, but not so much in my ministry blog. And so along with that, there can be teaching and training that come about through e-courses and email courses. I have an email course available right now that I do through MailChimp. And so there are different things that you can do, right, with your ministry, but you have to, and your entrepreneurship, your side hustle, your venture, your gig. But these things I want to cover today are essentials for this. And this gig economy, you'll see a lot of it coming out of Success Magazine and some other places where they really promote this whole idea of the gig economy happening and evolving. And that goes for everything from Postmates, and Uber, to you developing your own venture and being a freelancer, right? And I would definitely say evaluate, do an inventory. What do you have going on that you really want to get done? What do you have that's there that's a hobby, right, that you can use to get and build up? Listen, my golf blog is based upon a hobby, golf, right? I'm not a pro. I'm not teaching people how to play golf. I'm going out there and I'm getting tips from other people. I want to give a shout out to Brian Penn. Brian Penn is definitely always commenting on the stuff I got going on. He's got a blog called All About Golf, right? And Brian, back east doing some things. Really, happy to, always share with him and get his insights on stuff. But check out Brian Penn and what he's got going on as a blogger on WordPress. And even some of the tips that he's been able to give me have been great. And so I definitely say take what you have and make the most of it. And so as we look at this gig economy is a lot bigger than some of us think, right? And so part of this is saying that the gig economy is growing, right? If you're not doing the essentials to take the leap or jump in, then you're limiting yourself, right? And you're limiting your opportunity. In fact, you might be setting yourself up. And I say that because you might be setting yourself up for one or two things, right? You might be setting yourself up to hire someone else who is engaged in the gig economy with skills and know-how that you need in the form of services or products, right? You might, be looking to start and get some things done, and then you need to hire somebody to write an annual report for you. You need to hire somebody to do analysis and evaluation for you for your project. You might be in the midst of trying to get some basic stuff done, and you've got to hire somebody else, outsource, to get that done, and that could be somebody from the gig economy. Or you might just be setting yourself up to work for one of the people who is in the gig economy and has expanded and enhanced their services to the point where they need additional hired help. And what that means is it could be somebody with lower skills than themselves, and they'll hire you. And I say that because this is looking at some essentials. Let's looking at some essentials. And when I say essentials, these are basic things that you need to have happening. These are things that you need to be working on and putting it out there. Listen, when this pandemic hit, I was reading a book a week. I was taking a class or course, or, they offered a whole bunch of free stuff online. Everything from video and photography to Spanish, right? I'm still working on my conversational Spanish, but all these different things, marketing, multimedia, all these different things, learning it in the midst of it. And so, boom, let's get into this. Let's not hold up. This comes from an article, a blog post, truthfully, that I did earlier. And that blog post is on another blog that I have, Ministry Mechanic. It's still on Blogger, Blogspot. And you can check that out. The link is right here. And I put that in the comments. And what you want to look at in this gig economy are three essentials. And I'll give them up right from the beginning. Boom. You want to look at one, competency. Second, capacity. And thirdly, confidence, right? Those are the three essentials that you need. Competency, capacity, and confidence. They're going to be the ingredients for the formula that will keep you going throughout this whole endeavor. They will be the things that will keep you grounded. They will be the things that will keep you pushing forward as you look and evaluate at opportunities throughout this gig economy as things evolve and as things grow, right? And so as you take this on, be real. Be real about it, and definitely be real about what you're having to deal with in this gig economy. Competency, capacity, and confidence are three things that you need, and three things that will provide you with sustainability and success with your side hustle. I say competency because even though it has various meanings, for the purposes here, I just want to focus on competency as skills, know-how, hands-on knowledge. You can get this through e-courses, email courses, webinars, virtual trainings, niche coaching, all these different types of programs and licensing, but also reading books. People are talking about Outliers and Malcolm Gladwell. Do you know what they're talking about? Do you know what they mean by start with why? And some of these other things that are coming out as people are discussing things. Emotional intelligence. Do you know what that is? Have you read any of the books in the series on emotional intelligence? Have you taken any of the tests? Have you gone through any of this to figure out where you land as far as emotional intelligence? And so look at that. Look at what you're reading. Things for personal development, things for business or entrepreneurship. Definitely in personal development, I have to say, hey, Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins, must read. Definitely a must read. Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins. Get it. If you have felt that you struggle, David Goggins gives it to you in a very gritty, just punch you in the face, real way. Definitely a great personal development book. And on the flip side, Rachel Hollis, Girl Wash Your Face, Girl Stop Apologizing. Those are books, self-help, personal development books that really help people get a grip and get up and get moving, right? And that's what you're going to need in this gig economy. You're going to need that panache. You're going to need that to get up and get going and definitely get a grip. Get a grip on yourself, get a grip on what you have and what you can do. And YouTube, can't get past YouTube and Vimeo, these videos, bite-sized tutorials I spent this morning while I was typing up some things. I spent this morning listening to YouTube videos. I'll go back and watch them, but a lot of the YouTube videos I don't need to watch. I need to listen to, and I can multitask while I'm doing them. And so those are some things that you do to build competency. And when we talk about competency, we're talking about where you are with your skill development. And if you feel that you have some highly specialized skills, that also increases your ability to charge people at a higher rate. And so you may be one of the few who are in the field that offer those skills. And so if you have skills that are a rarity, right, that are a commodity, then you can charge a higher rate and you don't need as many customers, right, as the person who's cutting grass or the person who's delivering DoorDash or the person who's driving for Uber or Lyft. And so the economy is an economy of scale, and it's based upon skill, right? And so your competencies, your skills, your know-how, your knowledge level, your hands-on knowledge will make a difference. If it's a highly specialized skill and other people don't find a lot of people who can do it, you might be in for some moolah, okay? Bam. So let's check this out. Number 2 is capacity, right? Number 2 is capacity, and that is very loosely defined as how much you are able to handle, right? And in essence, capacity comes in different forms, but a lot of times people tend to look at it real surface level, and they'll go with, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, right? And many people see themselves at capacity, and that's just not true. That's not true. I want to do a simple, real simple calculation with you guys, right? And I'll do this in the blog post, and you can check it out. But it's simple. It is what I would call a daily time audit. Let's say you're like most people, and you realize there are 24 hours in a day, right? And you currently work 8 hours, which is 1/3 of the day, right? 1/3 of the day is dedicated to your regular job. Don't quit your day job. Keep going on, right? And then you sleep another 6 to 8 hours. And so let's say you sleep 8 hours, right? And at maximum, that would be 16 hours. That means you have 8 hours remaining. Okay, so let's say you work out for an hour, right? Including walks, breaks, whatever, stretching, and you eat your meals. Let's say your meals take up 2 hours, right? That's 3 hours. So that leaves you with an additional 5 hours, right? So even if you commute, you've still got 3 hours. What are you doing with those 3 hours? And if you don't know what you're doing with those 3 hours or with those entire 5 hours, then you have time that might be being siphoned, right? Being sucked away into other things that are wasting time. For my Freedom School people, you know what we say, we don't spend time wasting time. So check this out. Those 3 to 5 hours could be what you utilize for your side hustle, They could be what you utilize to develop your competency and take some courses and increase your skill level. Those 3 to 5 hours could be where you increase your capacity, right? And you allow for yourself to volunteer online as whatever, a virtual assistant in furthering your experience, in developing skills. Listen, there's nothing wrong with Upwork. There's nothing wrong with Fiverr. If you get on there and you are able to do gigs as a freelancer and earn a little bit of change, right? $5 a hit on Fiverr, right? And you're able to increase your experience level in dealing with clients. So I think your capacity can be developed definitely right there. Here we are. And I want you to know that this is one simple way to do it, right? Use that daily time audit. What are you doing? Where's your extra time? If you're a person like me that doesn't sleep a full 8 hours, you've got more time. What are you doing with it, right? If you're someone who is in the money game and you're saying, well, look, man, I'm trying to manage my money. I'm trying to pay off my debt. Money is tight. And you say, okay, I don't have that much. Get into a zero or low budget venture, right? Start doing it, ease into it. Like I said, do not quit your day job. Do not quit your day job. Keep that going as long as you can and make it happen. And this will reward you, right? And it will pay off, but do not quit your day job just yet to jump into a side hustle that you haven't even fully developed yet. That makes sense. And so as you go forward, continue to increase your level of capacity. Start journaling and writing and keeping track of things. Listen, I am in the midst of implementing things that I developed in 2007, 2017, 2018, things that I should have done, but I wasn't ready. I didn't prepare myself as much before. And so I'm trying to help somebody else be more prepared than I was, And so here I am, 2021, doing these things. And I still have things from 2006 when I launched Life Path Ministries, 2008, that I still haven't implemented yet, that I still have in notebooks and journals that I've kept day by day as God's given me ideas and essentials. And so this is just one of the things that's going to help you and your time and stress management. Get you some time and stress management apps. Use mindfulness. Use some things that will get you into a space where you are calm enough to handle what the day brings. Listen, I tell people all the time, you are bound to catch hell one way or another. It's coming, but the difference is how you respond to it, right? The difference is how you handle it. And no matter how hard times come, no matter how rough it gets, how you handle it will determine how you make it through. Your resiliency is going to depend on your ability to stay calm and weather it and withstand it, okay? And so get you a routine, morning meditation or some stretching. If you do yoga, do yoga. Whatever it is that you can create systematically and strategically to enhance and expand your capacity to handle more, do it, right? And do it consistently. Consistency is one of the things that is eating away at a lot of what we do. And I put that out there, and I say that because I found that in doing my golf blog, my Breaking 90. I found that in my most recent post that it has a lot to do with consistency. If you're not consistent, right? And if I had to throw a fourth essential in there, consistency would be it. If you're not consistent, then you tend to fall off, drop off, and then you tend to lose people's attention and other people's confidence in you and your ability. Because, well, I would check in with Bruce, but he's kind of flaky. He doesn't get stuff done in the same way, and then it just doesn't work out. It speaks to who you are and how you get things done. Work on that and build that consistency. If I had to use it, insert a number 4, consistency would be number 4. But look at it. It's the same thing I experienced with golf. It's the same thing you experience on your job with projects. If you're working in HR, if you're working in leadership, managing people, if you are an inconsistent leader, people clap back. People jump on you. People say, well, wait a minute, you said this over here, and now you popping off with that. What is it? Where are you coming from? What is it that you stand for, and who are you? Right? That's what that's about. So look at consistency as another element, but I'm going to move on and get to number 3, because this is 3 essentials for joining the gig economy despite the pandemic, right? And so when we look at this one is really where I slow down, right? Confidence. Confidence is believing in yourself, your skills, your talents, your abilities, the things that you can get done. And confidence is a step away from capacity, because capacity is what you're able to handle and manage, where confidence is how you see yourself, your perspective on how you see yourself leading a project, how you see yourself conducting a project, how you see yourself interacting with clients, how you see yourself handling the bills and payments. And so as you work with other people and you share things, your confidence level should rise as you are building your capacity and your competency. And you need self-confidence in order to network, to promote, to market, to brand yourself. This is what's essential in the gig economy. Listen, nobody is going to toot your horn any more than you. And nobody else should, because you should be your biggest cheerleader. You should be the main one who is getting this done and saying, hey, this is what I do. This is what I got to do. If you got to put it on a t-shirt, a bumper sticker, a button, and whatever, you need to have that out there. You need to put it out there, because no longer are we in the days of hanging a shingle and people going down Main Street and saying, oh, Bruce is in business? That's interesting. Okay. We're not in the stage of grand openings and, hot dogs and balloons and come on out and all that other stuff. This ain't Go See Cal and all that stuff. This is the gig economy that's primarily virtual and online. And so you have to create a plan and strategy for making others aware of who you are and what you do. And that requires you to pop off and be a cheerleader for yourself, right? You have to be a marketer. You have to be a promoter. You have to get into networking. And for my introverts, you can do this in many ways without having to speak to people, by letting your graphic design speak, by letting your gallery of work speak, by letting your images and your designs that you've crafted speak when you're on Redbubble and sites like that, and Zazzle. And so utilize your skills and make sure you hone that and create an avenue for your confidence to be built, so that you can come out of that state of being an introvert and interact with people, so that you can do some things that are on a new level than where you've been. Now, let me slow down and help some of my holy people out right here. I know 2 scriptures come up, right? And one of the scriptures definitely being, Proverbs 27:2, let another man praise you and not your own lips. Listen, let me help you out. This is not about praise. This is about promotion and marketing. You're not praising yourself. You are promoting yourself so that others are aware. This is about brand awareness. This is not about you saying, well, I got the best, forget the rest. This is simply about how you handle your business and let others know that you are in business. If they don't know you're in business, they can't support your business. Let me say that one more time. If they don't know that you are in business, they cannot support your business. You've got to make it known. You've got to share it with people, and you're not praising yourself. You're not getting all prideful and popping off in a negative manner. You are simply instituting and implementing the formula that's strategic and systematic that allows for people to become aware of you and your brand, what you do and how you do it, and what you have to offer. That's what that's about. The second one that I know some serious holy folks are gonna, want to jump on me about is Romans 12:3. That warns us not to think too highly of ourselves. And I want to give you a warning about self-confidence too. You can build your own self-confidence without the kudos and accolades and the attaboys from other folks. But, you do need to make sure you stay grounded. I am in full agreement with Romans 12:3. We are not think too highly of ourselves, but we ought to think enough of ourselves to where we're able to share with people what we do as a business, what we do as a side hustle, what we do in this gig economy. Because if not, no one is going to be able to support it because they're not aware that you offer it. Move forward with a level head, right? Don't let it go to your head that hey, I'm in business for myself. Watch out, I'm a CEO, I'm an entrepreneur, right? Until you're making it and you're making enough to replace the job that you want to leave, you just doing a little something. But be proud of that, but don't lose your mind over it, okay? Just understand that those scriptures do carry weight, but they're not all talking about the same thing, okay? And so as we move forward, right, this is how you let people know about the talent and the skills and the know-how that you have to offer in order to do a job for them or someone else that they know. And they're not going to know unless you make them aware. So you need that confidence. You need that confidence to move forward and keep that going, right? And I definitely want to make sure we understand this. Boom. You combine these three essentials. You combine these three essentials for success and sustainability. And success is how you define it, right? Success is all a matter of how you define it, what it looks like for you, what it is on a scale for you. And sustainability is your ability to still weather the storm, to still be here when everything else has gone on and the pandemic has happened and the aftermath of the pandemic has played out too, okay? And so your increased levels of competency and capacity will help feed your self-confidence, all right? And your confidence will carry you through the closed doors in your face, the emails and DMs that go without any reply. This will allow you to have self-confidence, and that self-confidence should give you the drive to share your skills and know-how with other people, whether you do it through advertising, promotion, whatever it may be, right? Whatever method that you set up, it should be systematic and strategic. And by combining your competency, your capacity, and your confidence, you will see new opportunities and even older opportunities in a new light. You'll arm yourself with assets that make you more than marketable. And I say this because I look at a gig I've done online for years. It's with what people would say is a content mill. And in doing that, there are opportunities that I've had with this website as a writer to do direct assignments for clients, and that has paid off and benefited me in understanding how this client likes a particular style. They have the list of keywords they want, and they're totally organized, and they have a framework that they want. And I have another client that might be, hey, fix this, and be very generalized and iffy and not sure about where they want to go, and may even change directions within the time frame of me writing the article for them. But what it does is it gives me that experience, right? You may have to volunteer, do pro bono work. Like I said, you may have to work on Fiverr for a minute and build up some skills. But as you build and build and build, get ready for the leap. Get ready to jump in. And jumping into this gig economy is something else. Listen, I'm doing just a little bit, right? I'm not doing a lot, right? I'm doing a golf blog, I'm doing a faith blog, and I'm doing a Bible study, and I'm doing this coffee and chat that's supposed to inspire people and help dreamers become doers. But there's a whole bunch more that I've still yet to do. I'm still doing the podcast. I'm still doing all these things that are leading to me growing this multimedia ministry. And as I do that, I definitely am trying to grow bigger and grow smarter. Listen, this thing is just a little over 6 months old, and it's still fueling my fire. It's still driving me. And so I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you staying in there with me, allowing me to grow in this. And so I definitely want to, like I said, pay it back, let y'all know where I am with this, and get a feel for where this thing is going and how things can be taken. And to wrap this up in a neat little way, I just want to say it like this, for my folks on Twitch, appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm on Twitch for a reason. And I want to get better at it, and I want to get more into it. But I'm on Twitch for a reason, and that's because I'm in with the gamers and the folks that are doing that, the developers, and I'm really interested in getting into that community more and touching more people with that, not just the ministry aspects of it, but also the inspiration of it. Sometimes we put people in a dark place because we don't understand them, or we haven't stepped over and stepped into their area to see what they got going on. And we get into these assumptions, and we get prejudiced, and we start putting people in boxes. And so that's why I'm on Twitch, right? That's why I'm on Twitch. So I want to get better at Twitch, and I'm going to do that. That's a commitment I'm making within the next 30 to 90 days, that I will get better at Twitch and interacting with y'all. And so thank you, especially for you tuning in from the UK. So God bless. This has been Coffee and Chat. Listen, I want you to get down with this. These are 3 essentials for joining the gig economy despite this pandemic, right? I know you got the stimulus check. Don't go crazy. But listen, despite the pandemic, right, you can still get with this gig economy. Check out my post. I did it earlier today. You can check it out. It has some information, and it has some past information on what we got going on Coffee and Chat. Hey, y'all. I appreciate it. Love y'all. God bless.